first time I watched Family Guy, I finally understood what dark comedy truly meant. Until then, I had never seen a cartoon that boldly crossed boundaries and made me laugh at things I didn't even know I could laugh at. It was my first time watching a dark comedy cartoon, and to be honest, I didn't expect it to blow away all my expectations. So what made me watch Family Guy in the first place? When did it happen? And most importantly, why did I end up loving it? Let's rewind a bit. As of now, I've only seen the first season of Family Guy, but there's no doubt I'll be binge watching the rest of the series soon. It all began about 6 months ago when I was planning to start a new YouTube channel. I've always loved cartoons, so naturally, I decided to create content around that niche. While researching and analyzing other creators, I stumbled upon a channel that had only been around for less than 2 months, but was already racking up tons of views. That caught my attention. When I looked closely, I realized this creator was making videos focused solely on one cartoon, Family Guy. He experimented with different titles and themes. Sure, the cartoon was always the same. That's when I first heard of Family Guy and started learning about its massive fan base and cult popularity. I was intrigued, a bit inspired. I decided that if I wanted to build a channel that attracted views like that, I needed to truly understand the show first. Before diving into content creation, I began watching Family Guy from the start. Just like that, I was face to face with what would become the darkest and best cartoon show I had ever seen. So here's the thing, coming from a humble background, I didn't really have the money to buy a Family Guy subscription. Naturally, I turned to the trusted underground source of all things entertainment, Telegram. That's where I got my hands on the first 4 seasons. Without wasting time, I hit play on the very first episode. From the opening minutes alone, I was completely hooked. The show's dark humor slowly started making sense to me, and I found myself sinking deeper into its strange, chaotic world. But at this point, I didn't even know all the characters' names. So I did what any confused viewer would do, Googled the cast and got familiar, especially with a character named Jake, or so I thought at the time. Armed with some context, I went back to rewatch the episode, and what followed exceeded every single expectation I had. So what exactly was it about that first episode that pulled me in so hard? First and foremost, the characters. They're outrageously funny. Take Stewie Griffin, for example, a tiny baby with an innocent-looking face but a mind more sinister than a supervillain. From the very first episode, it's clear he's hell-bent on taking out his own mother. His evil genius vibes are both hilarious and shocking, and that contrast alone is enough to keep you glued to the screen. Then there's Peter Griffin, the main lead. The whole show revolves around him. Sure, he's the dad of the family, but honestly, if you're looking for a role model, Peter's the last person you'd want as a father. He's reckless, clueless, and somehow still incredibly entertaining. Each character brings something unique to the table, from their weird quirks to their spot-on comedic timing. And of course, how can we forget one of the show's most iconic characters, the Griffin family's talking dog? He's less of a pet and more like Peter's life coach, offering unsolicited advice with a side of sarcasm. In short, Family Guy isn't just a show, it's a wild ride of dark comedy, bizarre situations, and characters you can't help but love. And if the first episode had me this hooked, you can bet I'm in it for the long haul. The first episode completely exceeded my expectations. I honestly thought, there's no way it can get better than this. But then I started watching the second episode, and that's when I witnessed what might be the best storyline yet. In this episode, we see Peter portrayed as a pretty bad father, which surprisingly I found super interesting. There's a scene where he's teaching Meg how to drive, and somehow ends up blowing up the city's TV transformer. Naturally, everyone's furious with him. But what does Peter do? He shamelessly blames the whole thing on his daughter. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing. That moment was beyond hilarious. But this isn't just about one funny scene. What makes the show so special is that every episode dives into each character's issues, and all of it blends together to create a brilliantly chaotic story. That's what makes Family Guy so fun to watch. After finishing the second episode, I immediately jumped to the third, then the fourth, and before I knew it, I'd binged the entire first season. And yep, I did it all in just one day. How? Well, season 1 only has 7 episodes, so it was pretty easy to dive deep into the crazy world of Family Guy. Now, the real question is, if you're new to the show, should you watch it? If you're waiting for my answer, honestly, it depends on you. Ask yourself this, are you okay with missing out on one of the most iconic animated shows out there? If I were in your place, I wouldn't even think about skipping it. So yeah, I guess that gives you a pretty clear answer. That's all for today. And hey, if you even kind of like this video, go ahead and drop a like. It won't cost you anything.
Mr. President, why do you think the American public has continued to support you throughout these impeachment proceedings?
Probably because you're so fat.